Hey everyone, welcome to Relationship Entertainment TV. I'm your host, Felicia Dortch, with the news you can use and the ish you don't want to miss. So, happy Tuesday. It's a couple of days after Thanksgiving. I'm pretty sure we all gained about between 10 and 30 pounds with all that good food. I definitely cooked a ton of food here with my family. Actually, I divided most of the work up between me and my children, which is something that I do every single year. So we had lots of yummy goodness, lots of home cooked meals, and I'm so proud of myself because I was trying to figure out how was I going to handle this COVID Thanksgiving. I spoke with you a week before last about making sure you're not around a lot of people, and how things may be done a little differently because of the pandemic. Just to share with you kind of the way we did ours. Of course, Wednesday I worked majority of the day, but as I was working, I had one of my twins, my 14-year-old daughter. She was in charge of making different dishes, so she was going ahead and doing her dishes while I was working to kind of get things moving. And then we finished up everything late that evening on Wednesday. Well, on Thursday, I did a Thanksgiving breakfast with just the people that was in my house. And we kind of lounged around a little bit and nibbled here and there. And then I went and visited my mom. So the way we did it was we kind of phased in and out. People came, people left, and I would honestly say majority of the people kept their mask on. I had a few people that, I had to keep reminding them. But that seemed to work. As the evening progressed, people came and people left. So we didn't all pile up in one place. My mom has dementia, and so it's a little difficult to try to get her to understand why everyone can't just have this grand party at her house, because that's what we do every single year. And so instead of me just reminding her over and over and her getting frustrated, I just went to everyone else and was like, hey, this is the issue. Let's kind of do it this way. And I'm pretty happy that everyone, did as I asked them to do, to keep my mom safe, as well as to keep ourselves safe away from each other and, making sure no one gets sick. So moving on from that, it is super cold here in Texas. I'm down south. I'm usually complaining about the heat, but we're down in the 40s. Tonight will be in the 30s, and we have a freeze warning. So that brought up something to me that I felt like we should talk about today. And I know everyone is over it with this COVID thing. I just got another email that they're going to push us working from home till January because our positivity rate has went well above 9. And I am pretty curious to know what the rates are going to be after they calculate everyone, because I'm sure not everyone did their Thanksgiving the way I did. As I was coming back into my neighborhood, I saw cars lined up down the streets, so that means people had company over. Hopefully they took parameters and was very safe. But this makes me think about the homeless people, in the cold, and as well as the flu season is right on us right now, and along with the pandemic. So my concern is to get back on here, and I know you're like, oh my God, can she talk about anything else other than COVID? But right now, this is so just detrimental to us. And then as well as our homeless population, we have it's just, the cold is ridiculous. And I know people up north are like, that is nothing, but for here in the South, that is super cold. So you're out in the cold, and then you have the flu that's everywhere, and as well as COVID. So that pushes me to tell you again to please don't forget to get your flu shot. Make sure that you're protecting yourselves from the flu, because you don't want to break your immune system down, which is going to make you more susceptible to getting something else like COVID. And just reminding everyone to keep their hands washed. For me, I say with it being this cold, if you don't have to leave the house, don't leave the house. Then you're protected. You're inside your home because no one else is coming over. At least you shouldn't be inviting people over during this time. And I'm pretty sure it's going to continue to get cold because we'll be in December on tomorrow. And that usually brings about our cold weather, at least most places. But hopefully Texas will get a winter this year. And also the COVID testing. They've offered here in Houston 3 more free locations, which made me think about why wasn't it free from the start? But that's neither here nor there, because I felt like that deterred a lot of people from getting the test, especially if they had numerous people in their family that they needed to be tested at $25 to $45 a pop. That could be extremely expensive considering most people are not working right now. So just reiterating to make sure you review your insurance plans this year, because you should be able to get your flu shot for free. If you don't have that ability, or if your company doesn't offer that, then you could definitely try some of the free clinics in your town or in your city to see about getting you and your family a flu shot. Just to reiterate again, I want to bring back up, I know I hear people tell me a lot that they don't get the flu shot because the last time they got the flu shot, it gave them the flu. That is correct. However, it's attenuated, meaning it's weakened, and your body has to be exposed to the virus to create the antibodies to be able to protect you against it. If your body doesn't know what to fight against, how is it going to help you? So keep that in mind. Now, as far as getting the full-blown flu, maybe when they did the nasal one, that is a possibility because that was a live virus. But with the shot, it takes your body a couple of weeks to build up the immunity, the antibodies that it needs to fight that if it comes in contact with that again. So understand what I'm saying. If it comes in contact with that strain that they have placed in that shot, you should be protected against. Now, there has been a time, as I mentioned before, my son got the flu, but it was a different strand. It wasn't one that they had. They can only put so many in the shot. So, they can't cover everything. And you have to think about year after year, it, kind of deviates to something else, or it builds into a different strand, or morphs into a different strand. So that it's impossible for scientists to keep up with every single thing that's happening. If it was, we'd got rid of COVID already. And that brings up another thing I heard today that one of the big pharmaceutical companies is seeking for an emergency FDA approval on a COVID vaccine. I know that one of them last week was trying to do the same thing. They're trying to get things going, and the way that they're going to do those is in a tiered situation. The frontline workers like nurses, doctors, people that work in the hospital will get those COVID shots first. And then after that is going to be the elderly people in nursing homes and people that service them. And it'll keep going down to not necessarily the less important, but the people that are less vulnerable or not on the front lines. I am a registered nurse, but I'm not clinical. I work as a nurse analyst. So I would probably be pretty low on the totem pole as versus if I worked at a hospital on a clinical floor, bedside patient care, then I would definitely be getting one of those shots quicker than anyone else would. Okay. So those are the two things I'm wanting people to really keep their eye on, especially for your parents. Do your research about it. And especially with the COVID, do your research about that vaccine, do your research about the flu, kind of rethink what you're thinking about it. Look at the scientific data behind it. And even if you don't want to get yourself a flu shot, which I don't know why anybody wouldn't, try to encourage your parents. If your parents are still living and, their immune system is weakened because they're elderly and they may have other problems going on that makes it difficult and make it easy for them to catch something, go ahead and protect them. See how they feel about it. And if they're okay with it, their doctors recommended it for them, then definitely get it. The only reason why you shouldn't be getting a flu shot is if you're allergic to it. Or you have a past history of Guillain-Barré syndrome, which if you don't know what it is, then clearly you don't have it. So that would be the only reason why you shouldn't be getting a flu shot. I just want you to stay protected because getting the flu and COVID at the same time is proven to be pretty detrimental. I have yet to find the numbers on those, but as soon as I get the numbers of people, when they start presenting about people getting flu and COVID and what they're experiencing, I would definitely come back and report it to you. I'm hoping that we don't have high numbers, but it's almost inevitable because you do have people still going out and about. You still have people, I see people trying to come in stores with no mask on. Just yesterday, I went to the store to pick up some groceries, and this lady literally tried to argue as to why she didn't want to come in the store with her mask on. Like, we're beyond that point, ma'am. I mean, this is kind of the law now here in Texas, and I'm pretty sure it is for other places. we're looking towards another lockdown. I had a few trips that I needed to go to in New York for some business, and I may not be able to do those because they're going to do their lockdown. If I'm not mistaken, it starts tomorrow. So just please keep in mind the weather is changing, which brings more opportunities for colds, the flu, and any other thing that can help have your immune system break down, which will invite the COVID. And we don't need any of that. You know, our numbers are extremely high. It's ridiculous. We're losing people left and right. Our hospitals are filling up. Just pay attention to those symptoms. It's easy to do, you know, again, look on your insurance card to find out if you have the virtual capabilities, if you're able to see a doctor virtually, you know, if you're having any type of symptoms. And you know when you just don't feel well, you know the difference between sinuses and a full-fledged cold. You know, just be cognizant of what's going on with your body and listen to your body. And I can't reiterate enough to please vaccinate yourself, get the flu shot. I'm still reviewing information on COVID. I'm just going to be honest with you on that one. But also I'm taking precautions. I don't really go anywhere unless I have to, and it has to be work related for me to leave or going groceries, you know, getting groceries. So I'm trying to keep my family safe, and I want you to do the same thing as well. And I hope your Thanksgiving turned out great. I hope everyone stayed safe and make great decisions, you know, being around each other or not being around each other. Maybe I'll hear more about those virtual Thanksgivings. I'm dying to see how those went. So again, vaccinate, pay attention to what's going on, people. I know you're probably tired of it, but I had to reiterate it because our weather is changing, which people tend to get sicker. You know, just pay attention to what your body is telling you and be safe. And I'll see you again on Thursday. This is Felicia Dortch with the news you can use and the ish you don't want to miss.